Following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Monday edition of Running Point. On ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. I think I'm getting the hiccups. We're good. That's like, honestly, that's one of my biggest fears is to get like hiccups on the air. And I thought it was about to happen. And I was like, oh, God.
Here it comes. Today is the day.
The day is, well, if it was going to happen, it would have happened on Friday the 13th. But
Yeah, there you go.
it did not. We have a good show today. We're going to be talking a little bit more Boardman softball with the team that kind of escaped into districts. Got a big win last week in the sectional finals to get into the district play today. So we're going to be talking about their junior class, Maddie Trevecki, Cami Goski, and Natalie Davis. That's going to be interesting conversations as well. We do want to iterate before we get anywhere that Scene Park is closed today. So all your sectional games that were supposed to be at Scene Park have been postponed to tomorrow. We are looking for other updates actively. Of course, it's going to be probably dry for first pitch. The rain's supposed to get out of here, but field conditions are what really worry people. So we're gonna keep updated as much as we can. We know Wyndham baseball at Rootstown has been postponed, and there was one more that is a YSN team away from us that we want to get to. It was Lakeview baseball. It was supposed to be at Edgewood, has been postponed. As far as everything else, as of now, as far as we have been alerted to, it is all good. But I'm sure we will get more updates as the show goes on and people try to check out their field conditions. Obviously, with tournament time, they want to wait until the last possible minute. They want to try to work on the fields as much as possible. But we should probably get updates by, I would say, 1 o'clock is usually when they start pouring in. So stay tuned to all of that, and we will try to keep you guys as updated as possible. If not us, then the casual sports guys and the Power Hour will also be updating you guys on the next shows after us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, stay tuned to ysnlive.com to get all those updates on stuff like that, on any games that are getting moved, added, postponed, delayed, what have you. To my knowledge, though, it would seem like rain. When I last checked my Storm Tracker 21, it was saying that rain was supposed to be slowing down around 1 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock-ish in a lot of areas. So we'll have to see if it slows down enough to get some of these games in.
Like I said, I mean, I just stumbled over my words. We're supposed to be dry by first pitch as far as the rain goes. But, as far as how much rain fell in every area and how much the fields got hit by water this morning, that's yet to be determined. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll stay updated. Once again, Scene Park has been closed today, so all games that were going to happen at Scene Park are postponed to tomorrow. And Lakeview baseball at Edgewood has been postponed, as well as Wyndham baseball. They were going to play Rootstown. So those are the ones that we know of right now. And while we're talking about Wyndham, I want to send thoughts to the Wyndham community. I know they dealt with some tragedy over the weekend with a very recent graduate, passing away. So the Wyndham community want to send our thoughts and prayers to them. I know there's a lot of people affected by that, including some other people that are in other school districts. So we want to make sure that the Wyndham community and every community affected by the the tragic loss of a very young person this weekend is felt by YSN. So then sending thoughts to everyone down there in Wyndham. We just talked to baseball players this week, so I feel like it was raw in our minds about the Wyndham community and how good it is and how glad we are that it is on YSN, now. So we want to just make sure to share our love to the Wyndham community right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All love to Wyndham right now, and we were glad to have some of the Bombers on from Friday too. It was it's cool getting into that community and excited to get into it some more too, because if you remember going into last season with the football team, some injuries kind of derailed them about halfway through too. I mean, in this baseball team, they're going to carry it through during tournament. Their offense is having some kind of fit right now, scoring 10 plus runs a game, it seems like, in the last few. This is a community I'm excited to see the future, what the future holds too, the next few years, because these athletes are just that. And a lot of them are juniors, so we're going to see them another year.
By the way, Ty, I was going through pictures of Wyndham to try to get them on the site, and man, those uniforms are slick.
Or like the Wyndham uniforms, yeah.
I really like gold plus black. The script Wyndham and like the W on the hats. They're just
both Chase and Wyatt on Friday had they were repping some Wyndham gear too. They had the hat.
Wyatt had the A's hat on.
Yeah,
the A's.
Yeah, he had the A's, but I think Wyatt had a shirt or something that with the Wyndham on it. He had something.
He's got the swag. Let's face it, Wyatt's got the swag for days, and he hits tanks.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest, I think, analogies ever. Is he hits tanks? Is phenomenal.
That's the headline on the story that you can find at ysnlive.com. For all those Wyndham baseball players, head over to our site to see the player profiles. Ty, we did have a sectional final coming over the weekend. East Liverpool baseball was able to wash out Beaver Local in the sectional semis, so they get the win over their rival 10-0. It was all Potters in this game.
Hey, and once tournament starts, you kind of throw any kind of records or what you know about any other team out the window, because you save your best stuff for the tournament, and you save stuff even your closest adversaries might not be ready for. And it seems like in this case too, East Liverpool threw the old kitchen sink at it, and boy, oh boy, Beaver Local wasn't ready this time around.
Kitchen sink. Kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, every sink in the house.
Every sink in the house at them, and it worked. It washed them out for sure.
Some other scores that happened over the weekend. Ursuline was able to beat Hubbard in baseball action. We saw Champion. They got the win, and they clinched a share of the MVAC title. As far as the baseball side, you look at the softball side of Champion. They took a loss to Crestview 6-4 on Friday night. That means Crestview is lined up for a share of the MVAC title as long as they take care of business, I believe tonight, actually, weather permitting, against Liberty. They have one more MVAC game to wrap up. So does Champion. They both have games against Liberty left on their schedule. So if they both win or if they both lose, they'll share. Obviously, if one wins and the other one loses, then that team would get the outright MVAC championship.
Yeah, and that's going to be interesting to see how that works out too, with how this conference championship's going to go. But look at Crestview still kicking too and still saying we want a piece of this before we get out of here.
Alliance Baseball took down Heartland over the weekend. We have United Baseball getting the win, and they win the EOAC title for the first time in quite a while for United. So congratulations to them.
Absolutely, congratulations to United too. I mean, that, like you said, it has been. I don't remember the exact year, so forgive me, but I know it's been a pretty decently a long amount of time. I want to say it was in the late 2000s, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll have to get correction on that. But yeah, it's been a while since United got it, so congratulations, Eagles, for getting back on top of the conference.
And Warren JFK wins the championship in the Portage Trail Conference as well. So congratulations to the Eagles. That trophy remains blue.
They're just like, what else did you expect from us?
Like I always like to do, probably because I'm traumatized by it, but Tom Brady and Gronk,
It's just like, what do you expect?
So all of that and more can be found on ysnlive.com. Make sure to check out the recaps from the weekend action. Ursuline softball got the win 19-10 over Villa Anna St. Joe's over the weekend as well to try to get some momentum in tournament play.
That's awesome too.
Want to buy followers?
Do I want to buy them?
Buy followers.
You could buy a follower, I guess. Want to buy them?
All of our followers are free, thank God.
I would hope that we don't have to purchase followers.
No.
That seems like a bad. We're buying the followers. That's a bad business model for the business, but it's a great business model for the public. Just we're gonna pay you to follow.
Poland got some momentum heading into tournament play. They get the win over Mooney on the softball field, so they head into districts with some momentum as well. So Poland will be itching to get into that district play tomorrow night against West Branch.
And that'll be interesting to see. Another.
Now, how about Mooney really struggled to start the season, but all of a sudden they're giving teams fits 2-1 over Poland. They're coming into this South Range District semifinal on Tuesday. Watch out for Cardinal Mooney. They're starting to put some stuff together.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. And I mean, it's going to be interesting to see once they have everything put together exactly how far this team can go.
All right, so we have 3 Boardman juniors that are checking in from the green room. We're going to pop them in right now, and we're going to interview them one at a time. And I think we're going to start with Maddie Dravecki, and then we'll kind of go on from there. So, guys, thank you guys so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having us.
Ooh, the harmony.
They think it perfectly. Let's go. All right, if we're going with Dravecki first, let's talk about the season experience. I think it's always a good kind of place to start too, especially it being your junior, your first year as an upperclassman. So you're kind of asked to do a little bit more and ask a little bit more from the team. So what has been this kind of season experience been like for you to this point?
Even though I only have technically played 2 years with the softball program, this season has definitely been my favorite. With 10 seniors, I got to build a relationship with each of them, and I think we just had a lot of talent this year, so I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, talk about these 10 seniors because you guys are going to be the next ones that have to lead after this. So,
yeah.
Maddie, what lessons have these seniors taught you on how to lead that you're going to take in the next season when you're the senior?
They really taught me to play for each other and to not worry about the upcoming games, focus on the now, and just do your best.
Who was a player when you first started in softball that you kind of looked up to that kind of showed you the ropes now that helped you become the player you are today?
Definitely Catherine O'Hara.
What was it about Kat that kind of, what was the biggest lesson, I guess, you learned from her leadership?
Just her positive attitude and the way she just always kept moving, even if she had a bad game.
Getting some love from Coach Moots already. He's watching. He's tuning in. Yeah.
In your experience, though, with softball and in the games that you've been able to experience, tough conference, no doubt. And I mean, you guys always play some fun non-conference games as well. What's been a game or some games that stick out in your mind as ones that you would probably put in some of the best category?
Our first game against Canfield this year, beating them, I think, was it 6-2 or 5-1?
Oh.
That was definitely a top 10 moment. It was really exciting.
I know that felt good because Canfield got the sweep on you guys last season. I mean, you come into this year and you have a lot of hunger from last season. Talk about the drive of this team. Talk about the drive of this team and what made what made you guys so hungry coming into this season.
We definitely wanted that win more than anything. I mean, they're one of our biggest rivals, so just the energy.
Moots has got you with the score. It's 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1. Thanks.
Talking about Moots and how active he is in the comment section, let's talk about the influence he's had on your softball career the last couple of years. What's some of the best advice you've received from Coach Moots that constantly is sticking in your head, as I already see you guys?
And I quote, his famous line is that if you get down, don't get down.
It's our favorite.
It's our favorite.
What's one thing about Coach Moots that people probably don't know that you think they should?
He has such a funny personality. On the field, he has a serious face. He's in the game, but during practice, he's really funny.
We hear that advice pop up, I think, pretty much virtually with every Boardman softball player that comes through. Talk to me about what that advice means to you, or a time in your life, whether it's in a game or just in real life, where you found yourself using this advice, or you found yourself saying that to yourself to not get down on something.
An example of that would be I would say in the Canfield game, it was 0-0 all the way up until like the third inning. And then some of the players were starting to get down, losing momentum and losing their energy. But I think that was like the first time you said it. If you get down, don't get down. And then Maddie Lester hit a home run, and that's what got us going.
One of the things that I notice about Maddie when I'm doing games, that you come in, no matter if it's off the bench or you're starting, you have the same mentality and you're always ready to go. Talk about the experience of either coming in off the bench or starting, and how you're able to stay mentally focused throughout the whole game.
My goal as a teammate is to get everyone up. I want people to be excited to play. I want them to be ready to win. And yeah, that's it. I just want to be the best teammate I can be. And whether or not I'm not playing, I don't want to have a negative attitude. So I'm always trying to stay positive.
Once you become an upperclassman, I feel like a lot of coaches, especially around this area, start preaching about what it means to represent the school and represent the colors and represent the community. In your time, what have you taken away about what it means to represent Boardman and kind of wear that Spartan's name across your chest and represent the community?
I think that representing Boardman means that we just want to keep the respect that we have right now. Like walking into a game, we don't want teams thinking that they could just blow us out. We want to have that respect that we're good competition.
Now you're going in the districts, and here we go. It's go time. It's where legends are made. How excited is this program to head down to Massillon and try to give these 10 seniors every game that they can possibly give them?
I'm really ready. I want to be able to go as long as we can for these seniors, because they got short of their sophomore year. We got cut of our freshman year. So I think we have a really good opportunity to go far this year.
And talking about that, this is going to be kind of a question that's going to be asked to all of you. So heads up in the interview, because I'm curious, because having your freshman year taken away from you is kind of crucial for a lot of players in any sport, because I mean that's a huge developmental year. What was that like, having freshman year taken away from you? And I mean, just how do you adjust with that, not knowing that, you know, if there even is sports that were available that you were interested in, you don't have that outlet or that option anymore as a freshman?
I don't know about you guys, but I was still working in the off season. Like Fred was constantly texting us, telling us to keep working, even though we weren't able to all meet up. And I had my travel team. We were like talking, making sure that we were working out, hitting as much as we could, and just not sitting and getting bored, you know, like we wanted to stay moving.
And I'm sure that travel season was a blessing, because summer, everything got a little bit back to normal. You're able to get back on the field. Travel ball, describe what kind of development it helps you do, and how much it has helped you grow in the off season and helped you grow as a player.
I'm very grateful for my travel team, because I've been playing with them for, this is going to be the 7th or 6th year. And it's just really nice to have the opportunity to not have a off season, basically. We start in February with high school and then finish in September. So I don't ever have a moment where like I'm losing that ability to grow.
Is one of your first speeches, I guess, as a senior, talk to the Boardman 8th graders right now and give some advice on what it's going to be like going into varsity softball?
As a senior and as a underclassman coming to the high school softball program, I would recommend just having a good attitude and don't be nervous. We're a really good group and we're very welcoming. Just do your best, and it's all about having fun.
What is your favorite off the field memory with this program?
The entire spring break trip this year to Siesta, that was a good time. Everyone could say that was a good time.
What was some off the field bonding that took place? Because I know that's always the best time of those trips. It's not so much the games.
After our parish game and battling it out with them, we all went to the lobby and ate with the coaches, and we're just messing around, and it was really fun.
All right, Maddie, it's time for the rapid fire section of the interview to get to know you a little bit off the field. since we've gotten to know you so well on the field, I want to start with, what is your guilty pleasure dessert?
Oreos.
Oreo.
I love
Okay.
Oreos.
What's because there's so many different kinds of Oreos. What's like the favorite Oreo?
Okay, well, I gotta talk about how I eat them. I have 3 double stuffed Oreos, and I break them all apart, and then I take 2 of them and I put them together, and then I eat one of them without like the cookie part.
Wait, go through it again.
So I have 3 double stuffed Oreos. I separate them, like I take the cookie part off of it.
Like you would with an Oreo, you take
So I just separate it.
Okay.
2 of the ones that are separated, I put them together and like make it a mega stuffed
You
one.
got a quadruple stuff? You're quadruple stuff with these Oreos?
I make one of them like a quadruple stuffed one, and
Okay.
then the other one I eat without like the top part of the cookie. And then I just eat the 3 cookies individually.
Wow.
Almost kind of like what you do with like a cracker and like a piece of pepper putting on it with a wrist.
Yeah.
That is How to Eat an Oreo by Manny Dravecki. Talk about your music playlist and what kind of songs do you like to listen to?
I'm a Taylor Swift girl. I love Taylor Swift. She always gets me pumped up. I think all of us could jam out to T Swift all the time.
How much does your music playlist align with the team? Are you vibing with the team's music, or is it one of the ones where it's like, guys, you guys are nuts. This music's trash.
One of my best qualities is that I have really good playlists, so I'm usually the one that comes up with the playlists.
It's like on your resume, good playlist. Boom.
Yep, that's what I'll say.
What is one song on that playlist though that you'd be embarrassed that it's on? Like when you're around your friends, you skip it.
I'm not embarrassed by this, but this is like a guilty pleasure song. Sycamore Chicken.
I mean, we all love that one.
Yeah. That's like our pump up song.
It's become a rally song for Boardman softball. Where did that come from? Tell us the story of your rally song.
I think the person who introduced it to us was Torrey Strein, and it was once again on the Siesta Key spring break trip.
It was at the first game.
Yeah, it was at the Paris. Yeah.
And
Speaking of Torrey Strein, we know that she has to have her pregame Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah.
True.
Oh yeah.
we might have to get her
What's your pregame meal or pregame routine?
The chicken flavored ramen noodles.
Okay,
Yeah, I always have them.
that is definitely a first. What about the post-game meal? What are you eating after a game?
That's difficult because I'm a big eater. I could eat whatever. It's not like a specific thing.
What was one childhood fear that you had?
Definitely tornadoes. I hate tornadoes.
Do you still have that fear? Like when the tornado siren goes on, Maddie's
Yeah, I flip out.
what is one personal goal that you have this season, or you've had this season?
This season, I really wanted to be able to make an impact on all of my teammates, and the feedback I've gotten from them, I think I accomplished that goal.
What is one thing on your bucket list before you die?
I want to travel as much as I can.
What kind of cities are on that travel list of dream cities that you want to go to?
I would love to go to LA, Tokyo, stuff like that, all over.
Tokyo. What I'm going to ask this now. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
Hawaii.
Close to Tokyo. If you could afford any car, what car would you want to drive?
Oh my Lord. Probably a Porsche.
What is are you a movie girl or a book girl?
I'm a movie girl.
All right. What was the last movie you saw in theaters?
Encanto. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. We don't
Yeah,
talk about Bruno.
The Disney movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the last one I saw. Or like The Secret Life of Pets 3. I don't know. One of those.
There's a third one?
No. The last movie I saw was the newest Spider-Man. That's the last movie I saw. It was a
Okay.
while ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the last show that you binge watched on Netflix?
Criminal Minds.
What fictional death hit you the hardest?
I know this one right.
Probably. Probably, yeah, Tony Stark. No spoilers though.
No spoilers.
He doesn't.
What would you do if the Wi-Fi went out at your house? What's the go-to like unplugged hobby that you can do without Wi-Fi?
I'd probably walk to her house. We're like 5 houses down, so I'd just go hang out with her.
Wi-Fi's out the whole city of Boardman. There's no Wi-Fi anywhere. And you can't use data. Data's gone too. Data's gone. Phone's gone. Internet's gone.
We're gonna go for a nice walk with my dogs.
All right. Speaking of your dogs, what's the weirdest thing that your pets do?
They make make noises. They like whine. Like my one dog like meows. It's really weird.
If your dogs could talk, what would they say about you?
That I'm amazing.
All right. That's love it. All right. Before we let you go, we want to give you the chance to thank your support system and the people that have always been there for you and the people that are always in your corner.
I obviously want to thank Coach Moots for giving me the opportunity this year and last year. He's one of my biggest supporters, and I will be grateful for him forever. And my parents and my travel team, they support me all the time.
All right, Maddie, thank you so much.
And these two.
And those two for the moral support, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck tonight and the rest of the season, and we look forward to talking again real soon.
Thank you.
All right, we'll just center Cammie. We'll move to her. So if you guys want to switch seats or move the camera so she's centered up. There you go. All right.
Press conference style with two bodyguards on each side.
I know, right? All right, Cammie, thank you so much for joining us today, and let's get this rolling.
All righty, Cammie. So, I mean, yeah, first question I want to kind of go to you again is just this season experience, being a junior, being dubbed an upperclassman now. What's been this season experience like from your perspective?
Well, at first, not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous to like be at the varsity level because even though I played like 2 other varsity sports, it's always a different experience like going into that other season, and especially like it's first time on varsity, you still have those like, you know, nerves. But I'm close with a lot of like all the seniors, and obviously these two. So it was kind of like very relaxing, and we just have a lot of fun.
Multiple sport athlete, what's it like for you to switch between sports and kind of put that mental switch going from, you know, basketball to softball per se?
Well, I like the basketball to softball switch because obviously basketball keeps you in a lot of like very good shape. So when I'm coming to softball, I feel ready. I feel like I'm good to go, especially with base running. Like I love when we practice base running. I practice because I'm like, oh, I'm good at this. Like I won't get tired. Like I just feel excited.
Talk to me about the base running too, and when you're kind of tagged with stealing a crucial bag. What's that mindset of playing the cat and mouse game when you have to kind of pay attention to what a pitcher's doing in a circle and they have a good catcher on?
Yeah, well, right when I get that steal sign, like I check my wristband, I'm like, ooh, I'm going. I have to I really just focus in on the pitcher and, you know, really watch her hand to make sure that I'm not leaving late, because if I leave late, then I feel like I'm kind of screwed. But once I go, I'm like going, like right before like I get on base and I'm like watching, in my head, I'm like, all right, you just got to run. You just run. Like it's you know, you just got to get there. And obviously everyone always like pokes fun at like my long legs and my stride. So I use that to my advantage though, because I know it's like a good quality I have. And right when I get to the base, I do the hook slide. That's my favorite, because then they act like they tag you, but you missed it. So I'm like, ha, you missed me.
I'm going to put you on the spot because I know Coach is watching. Have you ever not received a steal sign when you really wanted to steal and you've been like, Coach, what are we doing?
Yes. Yes, I have before for sure. Especially if I'm the only like base runner on and there's like none or one out. And I know the catcher, like if it doesn't have like a great arm, I'll be like, okay, like why am I not going?
What is Coach Moots' penalty if you go and you're not given the sign? Like, I'm sure there's a punishment.
Yeah, I don't know specifically, but he kind of will just get on you and like,
It's off. It's like if you miss a sign.
yeah, he will kind of
Especially
just
if
get
you're
on
out.
you and like, why did you do that? You know.
He's at least giving you some love, calling you an awesome base runner. At least he has that trust in you as well. Talk to me a little bit about all these ballparks that you've gotten the chance to play into. I mean, you mentioned even going down to Florida as well. What's been some of your favorite ballparks outside of Boardman, the easy answer? What's been some of your favorite ballparks to play in?
I don't know about that one. I'm trying to think of like conference, but like I don't like the other fields at like our conference.
She's almost like DJ, and how DJ wouldn't drink the color of Gatorade of his opponents that he would play. She's just like, no field that's not home field is.
You just gave Kimmy
I mean, I
too.
kind of like the fields in Florida because like I feel like first of all, there were palm trees like in the outfield, and that was sweet. And the dirt was kind of like an orange color, and it was like bright, and it just like made me happy to be playing there.
You guys go down to Florida. The softball there is so different. It seemed like every team you were playing had Division I commits like up the wazoo.
Yeah.
What was it like to be exposed to that level of softball and then to come back up here? Not saying it's better, but it's a different form of softball. So what was it like to be exposed to that and then come back up to this area and play the local teams?
Well, I feel like it definitely like helped us out, even though we didn't win too many games and we kind of didn't play super great, but it definitely like built like our like strengths. Like I feel like when we came back here, like we were ready to play and we were ready to win. We knew that like we already faced like the top competition, so we can come back home and pretty much knock teams out of the water.
I think one of the biggest things that losses do with teams is it helps kind of build character too, because everyone's frustrated after a loss. So talk to me when you kind of are going through those times, or when those times are rough patches are happening in the season. What are you kind of doing to keep yourself on a level head, and what are you kind of doing to keep yourself motivated for the next game, next pitch, next at bat?
I know personally, I like if I get down, if I like make an error, I like get in my head sometimes too much, but I tell myself it's okay to let it bother you for like just a few seconds. But then like if it was a error in the field, I go back in the dugout, I get ready to hit. I'm like, okay, I need to forget about it, because if I keep thinking about it, there's no way I can move on from it. So I just kind of have to think on it for a second, know what I can improve on, then forget it and just continue playing.
Tell you right now, the views are off the charts. You guys are getting a lot of love from the Boardman community. What's it like to have this community behind you guys and feel the support from Boardman?
I mean, it just feels awesome. Like it's like a nice feeling in your heart. Like I don't want to be like emotional like that, but it really is. And like, you know, I've had a lot of like Spartan spirit ever since I was little, you know, watching like my older brother play and like just, I don't know, I've always loved like the fan base.
You talked about going back. Let's continue on that train a little bit. Where did this love for softball first begin, and when did you find yourself first getting really invested in the sport?
Well, I know when I was really younger, I don't have a sharp memory of it, but my dad put like a wiffle ball bat in my hand and just like pitch balls to me, and like I don't know, I would just hit it. But like throughout the years, my love for softball really grew, and I think not just because of the sport, just because of the people that were around the sport. Like I love like the whole softball community.
I have this like vision of Cammy hitting bombs as a toddler. That's when I knew, because I hit tanks. Let's get into the personality of this Boardman softball team. Obviously, we're getting into it with you three. We can tell you three have a lot of personality. But overall, what's the personality of this dugout like, and how much fun does this team really get to have?
We have a lot of fun, but sometimes everyone gets too hard on themselves, and sometimes we have those moments where we shut each other out and we just are mad at ourselves and we don't want to speak. But Maddie here, she always has a great attitude to always pump everyone up, and once she gets started, then it starts everyone. Then we all start, you know, peaking with our attitudes. And ever since the parish game in Florida, we've like cheered in the dugout now, and we have just this like crazy energy. And ever since like we've had that experience, we keep using it, and it's just making us better.
What's the most excited you've ever gotten playing softball? Frame the moment for me.
Ooh. Okay. I think it was, again, when we were in Florida, I was playing left field and Josie Porter was playing center. And there was this one girl up to bat who we were playing against. And an inning before, this girl was like talking bad about Josie, and Josie was getting all mad. And the next inning when we were in the field, she hit it. She had a nice hit. It was like short to like right center, but Josie dove and caught it. And I remember I like jumped up. I started screaming. I was like, "Yeah, Josie!" And I ran over to her and we started jumping and celebrating. It was really fun.
I love it. Let's get into the rapid fire section of this interview. It's not going to be exactly the same as Maddie, so I don't want you to think that I was giving you previews into yours. I'm going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to start with sunrise or sunset for you, Cammie.
Sunset.
A night in or a night out?
I'd say night in. It's more relaxing.
If we were giving you a time machine, would you rather go forward in time or back in time?
I'd rather go back because I like the anticipation and like seeing what the future holds for me. I wouldn't want to see that before.
What era would you go back to?
I don't honestly, I feel like I would like fit in the 90s. I said that one time in English class. We had to write an assignment about like if you would like go back in time, what would it be? And I'd say the 90s because like I said the music mostly and like the fashion.
Who's one person you'd want to meet from the 90s?
I mean, he's still alive now, but because I like his music, Snoop Dogg.
Who's one person alive or dead that you would want to have dinner with? And you can't say Snoop Dogg again.
I'd say Coach Roy Williams from UNC.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All the Duke fans out there just tuned out.
I don't care.
What is the go-to fair food at the Canfield Fair for you, since it's coming up in a couple of weeks with the
Island noodles, 100%. Right when I get there, that's the first thing I'm going to. The line is normally really long, but it's super fast, and I love watching the cooks like chop up the vegetables really fast. I'm like, how are they not like chopping off their finger?
What's your hidden talent?
Ooh. Not sure if this is really like, well, I guess it is a talent. I'm a great like puzzle like person. Like I can do a puzzle. Like give me a 1,000-piece puzzle, I'll finish it in a night.
What's that? Well, I'm guessing you've done a lot of puzzles. What's the hardest puzzle you've ever done?
Ooh. It was one I did on vacation one time, and it was just a bunch of seashells, and there were like so many that looked the exact same. So there were all the pieces like they were the same color and the same pattern, and it was like really hard. I had to bring it home. I like packaged it in like plastic wrap, like all the pieces I had together, and then I finished it when I got home.
You need to invest in one of those the puzzle rolls that you just roll around and it stays the same. Are you good at the other kind of mind puzzles like crosswords and Sudoku and those kind of things?
I like word searches. I'm good at word searches, but I hate like Sudoku and all that other stuff.
If we were going to put you on a game show, what game show do you think you'd have the best chance of winning?
Ooh. This sounds stupid, but like The Price is Right, because I'm in entrepreneurship class right now, and we played it before, and I was pretty darn good at it.
What would be the best prize to win on The Price is Right?
Ooh. Probably a car, honestly.
Or would you rather be taller than you are right now or shorter than you are right now?
I mean, I'm pretty like happy with my height because I am pretty tall, but I wouldn't want to be shorter, so I would want to be a little taller because that would help me about, with everything.
What is one mythical creature that you wish was real?
Really? Mm-hmm. I don't know. A mermaid.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
If we were going to ask someone to describe you in 3 words, what words do you think they would use?
Funny, I hope. Smart and sneakerhead.
What is the favorite subject for Cammie Goski?
English class. I love English class. My grandma was an English teacher, and my dad kind of excels at it too, so those traits got passed on to me, and I just love, like, everyone thinks I'm weird for this, but every time we're assigned, like, a writing assignment or, like, a poem, I love to do it. Like, I love it.
Fred Moore's giving some love to your families as well. So let's talk about the families. Who wins at family game night?
It's usually my mom.
And what's the go-to like family game on family game night? Like, what's the one that you'll always get out when you guys got to play?
What's it called? Aggravation. Like the board game with the marbles, and you got to move them and roll the dice.
Last thing before I let you go, this is the big question. Like, do you wet your toothbrush before you put toothpaste on it or after?
I do both.
There you go. Both.
Yeah.
Perfect answer. Before we let you go, we do want to give you the chance to thank your support system and the people that are always there for you.
Definitely my parents, because in my hard times when I'm down on myself, they always find a way to pick me back up and to keep moving forward. And definitely Coach Fred, obviously these two, and just everyone who's like just the simple like people that gave me like a little bit of support. That means a lot to me. Like the little things mean a lot. So pretty much anyone who's out there supporting me.
All right, let's do the whole carousel rotation. And we'll ask Natalie a few questions. By the way, Cammie, thank you for your time, and we appreciate it. Natalie, I want to start with you, and I know this has been a year that you didn't expect it to go the way it went, and it's been kind of disappointing to have to be on the bench with the injury. But talk about how you've been able to keep your energy and keep leading this team with not being able to be on the field.
Yeah, this year has been a whole different experience for me, because as a pitcher and like in my years growing up and how I've been playing with them forever, I've always tried to be like the leader on the team, in the circle, off the circle, like wherever I am on the field, I always try to be the leader. So this year's been completely different because I can't really be on the field with my team to like lead them that way. But I have tried my best, work with Maddie and be the best like energy support system that I possibly can. And I help with the book. I do Game Changer a lot. I help Coach Fred and Coach G make lineups. Like it's a totally different experience for me. And it was definitely not something I was expecting. But
quick follow-up, because you get to see the game from a little bit of a different angle. How much have you learned this season?
I have learned so much, because I used to always just, focus on my position, work on pitching, work on first base, work on hitting. This year I've been exposed to like every position. I've been able to help out, all the players. I can give tips to people, and it's great. Like Maddie Weimer would come in the dugout and she'd say, hey, should I have done this or that? And I can honestly tell her, because I watched the whole thing. It's like, it's a totally different perspective.
Maybe we should call this a coach's corner instead of a
It really does force you into it though, because you don't get to help out the team in that way. So you have to be able to, without having that kind of a direct effect on the game, you have to affect it in other ways. And talking about that, I guess, what is that feeling going to be like for you when Shanes finally do come loose? Natalie Davis is all suited up and ready to go again.
Oh, that's probably going to be the best day of my life. When I get the letter or whatever that says I can do whatever I want, that will probably be the best feeling in the world, honestly.
I imagine it has to be a mental grind to deal with this. What's it been like mentally for you, and how have you kind of stayed positive throughout the whole?
It's honestly, I can honestly say it's been just as challenging or even more mentally than it is physically, because although it was painful, whatever, it's been so hard to like sit there and just watch from the sidelines. But the only way I could get through it is like with them and all my teammates. Like they're the only way that I'm not like losing my mind. That's the only way. And my parents, of course. And a shout out to Sam Dubel, who's been through the whole thing with me. She tore her ACL 2 months before mine, and we do like all of our rehab together. And it's honestly, if it wasn't for her, I'd probably lose it.
Early comeback player of the year nominee for next year. It's saying it right now.
I think it's something really incredible that you've been able to stay positive, because like Anthony and I alluded to earlier, freshman season for you guys didn't happen at Boardman because of COVID. Last year it happened, but at somewhat of a limited capacity. And then this year injury happens, and that's something that doesn't happen to everybody. So just talk to me about how you've been able to maintain a positivity through not just one, but through 3 years now of a softball career. and just what kind of mentoring are you trying to do for the younger players that are looking up to you and watching your every move right now?
Yeah. As a freshman, obviously it wasn't as hard as this because everyone was in it together. You know, like I could text these two and be like, you know, I'm so bored. Like, this is awful. But this year it's like, it's totally different just because I have to watch it happen. But it's like, honestly, I can say there's like a silver lining to it because I don't know. I feel like I could come back stronger than I was. But for the younger players, I mean, all I could do is be positive so that they know if they have to go through something like this, like if I could do it, they could do it. That's how I feel about that.
Speaking of younger players, Torrey Strein steps up huge for this team. How proud are you just of watching her growth and to be able to, I'm sure you've given her a lot of advice in the pitcher circle, things that she's doing. How proud are you of seeing what Torrey's been able to do this season as a freshman?
I probably say it like every day, like to my parents. I'll come home like, thank God for Torrey, because if it wasn't for her, like I don't even know what we'd be doing right now because she just came up so fast. And like what's weird about Torrey is that us three have always played against Torrey. Like in travel ball, we'd always play against her team, and like it's always been like, oh, Torrey, we had to play against her. But this year's been so different because she's on our team now, and it's just like she's such a blessing to have. Like I can't say how proud I am of her. Like I really am.
She's on our team.
Being one that starts in the circle as you are too, talk to me a little bit on that excitement that you're going to have on just having that two kind of punch rotation of having you and Torrey for the circle for next year as well. What kind of excitement do you have for that and for the future now of Spartan softball? Obviously, this season's still going on. You guys still have work to do here, but future also still looking bright for Boardman.
Yeah, I think that we could bring this team through a lot, I'd say. If we could still Coach Roger is kidding. But I think that we could be a dynamic duo next year if I come back strong, and Torrey, obviously she's doing incredible this season. If she keeps that up and I can come back just as strong as her, I think it would be a pretty good duo.
All right, Natalie, let's get you some rapid fire questions to get to know you a little bit off the field. And I'll start with, what is the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning?
Well, first thing, the alarm probably goes off and I hit snooze at least like 3 times every day. And then scroll through my phone a little bit, stall. And then if it's a weekend, I'll go home. I'll go downstairs, eat breakfast.
Where are you sleeping?
Yeah, it's a struggle for me to get up every morning. My mom would tell you that she probably has to like yell at me every single day to get up.
What's your go-to breakfast?
Chocolate chip pancakes.
Mm-hmm. What's the go-to lunch meal?
Every day at lunch, I eat a turkey sandwich with like an orange and like a Go-Gurt.
So you don't buy any of the school's lunches. So I'm guessing you're not the person to ask like, what's the best school lunch?
Well, sometimes I do. It depends if it's a good lunch because they are free. So it's like, sometimes you gotta take advantage of it.
Man, it wasn't free when I was in high school.
Yeah, I'd probably say like the mini corn dogs. I love those.
I don't know why I'm talking about lunch food when I'm getting hungry myself, and I can't get off the air till 2. If you weren't in softball right now, what sport do you think you'd want to play?
Well, probably basketball because that's what I do. Like I do play basketball in the winter. That's how I got hurt, and I do love playing basketball as well. So yeah.
Do you play any musical instruments, and if not, which one do you wish you could play?
Actually, in 5th and 6th grade, I did play the clarinet, and I was 4th chair. So I could still probably play like Mary Had a Little Lamb on it. But yeah. 4th
chair, that's going to be one of your proud moments, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in the top 4. What is your favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
I love SpongeBob. I had to pick SpongeBob probably.
What age would you like to retire?
Oh, like from working? Just like,
yeah, like if you're saying like if I'm done working at this age, I'll be happy.
I guess like 60. 55. I don't know.
What has been your favorite year in life so far? So if you had to pick an age, like your best age so far in your life, what has it been?
I'd probably say 16. I'm 17 now, but being able to drive, definitely good.
They call it Sweet 16 for a reason, right?
Yeah.
What is your favorite holiday?
I like Christmas, but my favorite's probably the 4th of July. I love the 4th of July. I don't know why. I love Christmas, but I like fireworks. So 4th of July, I guess.
What's your least favorite holiday?
Valentine's Day.
It's a Hallmark holiday anyway.
Yeah.
If you were given the power, what holiday would you want to create?
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess I'd make my birthday a holiday.
There you go.
National holiday.
Perfect. What is your favorite food to eat during Thanksgiving?
Ham.
What is the best Christmas gift you've ever received?
1 year after we were done opening presents, my dad pointed to like a piece of paper in the tree, and it was tickets to a West Virginia basketball game, and we had really good seats, so that's one of my favorite.
What's the best Christmas gift you've ever given?
I don't know. That's a good question.
This one always trips people up.
Yeah.
I got him.
I don't know about Christmas, but I can say this past Mother's Day.
It can be any gift. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. On Mother's Day, we got my mom tickets to a Billy Joel concert. So we're super excited about that. That's probably my favorite so
far. What's the best Christmas movie?
Elf, hands down.
Who's your favorite superhero?
That's a hard one. I have to say Spider-Man. I have to.
Who's your real life hero?
Probably my dad, I'd say, because he has done everything softball related since I started playing. Like now he even like teaches girls how to like pitch. It's great. He's great.
If you were to own a company, what do you hope that it sells?
I would want to sell probably shoes, I guess.
That'd be good because Cammie said she's
a Cammie is a sneakerhead, so I would give her a discount.
What is one TV show, movie, or book that has changed your life? Oh, geez, that's hard.
Changed my life,
or impacted you, or made you, whatever. It doesn't have to be life
changing. A life change.
I'm trying to like think of a show or movie that I like quote all the time. Maybe, I don't know. I talk about Gossip Girl probably all the time. I love Gossip Girl. Everything about it. It's great.
What is the last show you binge watched on Netflix or another streaming service?
Honestly, probably in Florida when we watched Is It Cake. That was
Yes, I've seen a few episodes.
Is It Cake?
That was hard. That was hard to see if it was cake.
Oh, we set up my like Netflix in the room. Us three and Maddie Weimer, we would sit there and stare at the TV and like point out which one it was. We'd pause and we'd analyze. It was great.
Who was the best at figuring out if it was cake or not?
Probably you. Yeah, definitely me. I was gonna say it was definitely me.
She didn't want to reward herself with that.
I didn't know what she was gonna say. I was like, it's definitely
me. What teammate do you text the most?
Probably Maddie. I don't know. I just text her about
the one next to you, or
yes, this Maddie. Well, Maddie Weimer. I text her, but usually it ends up with her like laughing at her own jokes, and I just can't take it, so I can't.
What was the last thing you texted this Maddie next to you that you text the most?
Oh, she was asking for a pass. She asked if Mr. Manucci was going to write us a pass, and I said, Maddie, just come down here.
I was freaking out a little bit.
Sorry to take you away from that class, Maddie. Guys.
Hey. No trouble.
No trouble. I know you were so worked up about it. Natalie, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system and the people that have always been there for you.
Definitely my parents, first of all, especially through this injury thing. They've put up with a lot from me. Coach Fred, he's great. He's been working me through this the whole time too. My travel coaches, my travel team, them of course. Mr. Dubel, I've been going to his gym all the time, and Sam, as who I said earlier, they're great. And yeah, that's all my teammates.
All right, you guys. Thank you all for joining us today. Man, this was fun. We love talking to you guys, and we wish you the best of luck in the future. And we wish we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Harmonize again. I love it. All right, that was the junior class of Boardman softball. Maddie Dravecki, Cam Goski, and Natalie Davis all joining us live on Running Point, and it's always fun when we can get that team on because they are a party.
And honestly, I mean, great speaking on all three of their parts. They all three did a great job. And you know what? Particularly from Natalie's interview, what I wanted to take away from that, when you're kind of injured that whole season too, and the kind of chips fell the way they did where freshman year didn't work out either. I think having that positive attitude, I mean, you want to talk about something leadership quality and like what leaders are made of when you can't directly affect what's happening on the field, but you're still being upbeat. And she just has learned that coaching mentality of how to lead. So now when she does get on that field, she's going to be like an on-field coach now. She's going to be virtually an on-field coach. And you know what? And like she said, these younger girls are looking up to her. She's setting the blueprint of what it means to be a good teammate, even when you can't directly help what's happening on the field. And I think that's huge.
Like Coach Moon said, assistant coach of the year. You know, maybe that'll just turn into a coach's corner instead of a player profile.
Her senior year, watch out, she's going to be huge on that field for that team, I think.
I think maybe coaching is in her future now because of the year that she spent with this coaching staff. Who knows? They've had a lot of players that move on from Boardman, they go on to be coaches. So
it's moments like that or years like this, season like this, where you find out that this is something you really love to do and you might have a knack for doing.
And selfishly, it brings really good ratings. We got a lot of views for those Boardman softball players. So we love the comment sections. We love the support that the players get when they come on. And man, Boardman community, I hope that they win tonight. They're the only team in that Massillon district on YSN. So we're rooting for them full on in that district tournament.
Yeah, I mean, senior heavy, junior heavy too, upperclassmen heavy. Let's see what this Spartans team can do.
They will play tonight, weather pending, in Massillon, Washington, against New Philadelphia in the district semifinal. Can let you know that the districts in Division 4 at Jackson Milton have been postponed to tomorrow. Just got that update from Coach Ciccolelli, who is personally down in the field trying to work it. So those games, which are Bristol versus Western Reserve and McDonald versus Lisbon, both those district games have been pushed back to tomorrow.
Is that going to serve any kind of or be any kind of issues? That's just going to be all kinds of. That's going to be D4 softball district with D2 and D3, right?
Yeah, they'll just because it doesn't affect. No one else is playing at Jackson Milton. So they'll just kind of push that game back.
It's going to be a lot of games going on tomorrow.
So it'll just be one more set of district semifinals happening tomorrow. Fred, you're day one, bud. So thank you for all your support and anything you ever need from YSN, you got it. You know that. So once again, the the Division 4 district semifinals in Jackson Milton tonight have been postponed. We will continue to stay updated on statuses of games as we go forward in the day. But we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll have more on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens. On air, online, Wednesday afternoon weather update,
very dangerous,
and on the 21 News social media platforms. 21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
As fine as the eye can see, the finest hardwoods from the finest trees. Made for your home and within your means, Baird Brothers will help fulfill your dreams. Let life and light come shining through in quiet morns. And heavy traffic, too. Find your easy-to-afford fine hardwood floors and doors and more at BairdBrothers.com.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
But now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
Reliability, innovation, scale. These three values are those we look forward to in our business and in our team. If you're ready for a reliable employer who looks constantly to think outside the box in big ways, we're ready for you. Apply now. Help us push the envelope and deliver success. Envelope 1. Take that one extra step.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists, located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig with you as always, and alongside Mr. Ty Bartell. Anthony might die before the end of the show. As always, as I said, joined by Ty Bartell. Ty almost had to take the show over.
Yeah, almost. But I do want to pop in the comments some more love coming from the Falcon community too, as Coach Ward giving the Boardman Spartans some love too. And
what I love about Coach Ward, and I'll say this because it's perfect timing because he does this. He loves his competitors almost as much as he loves his players. And like we saw on Twitter last night, he sent almost everyone that popped up on that All AAC list personal congratulations and like how much that their program respects them, especially some of the Howland girls, Maddie Hufford, Brooke Tater. He is just the ultimate guy that has class and respects greatness, even if it's not on his roster.
He's like a shout.
I wish more coaches would do that.
Community.
I wish more coaches would be able to swallow their pride a little bit and recognize greatness and realize that, sometimes another coach reaching out to you and saying, like, when we play you guys, you're circled. Like stuff like that. That could mean a lot more to that player than their own coach saying you're a great player. Because sometimes, like when your parents compliment you, you like it, but you also know they have to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like getting it from that, just getting an outside nod of respect, and it also just goes to the fact that he loves the sport of softball as well. Right. But like I said, Coach Ward is like a Shaolin monk that just lives in Austin. He's all about like just peace. He's just sitting there in his classroom, peace constantly. And I mean, he's a great guy, lovable guy. And you said fantastic coach, fantastic coaches, and Coach Moots and Coach Ward, no doubt.
Like he'll work hard to beat you, but he'll love you afterwards.
Oh, absolutely. Out for a beer afterwards.
That's the best way I can describe it. Like he'll work his butt off to beat you in the field, but afterwards he's gonna love you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, that's just kind of the softball community too, because that's the same way the players are. There's just a lot of mutual respect across the board too, and you see that kind of love. We saw it with players on the show as well. We saw Chelsea Williams to Gaz and Emily Knight too, and it's like the love in the softball community is real, and it stretches across teams too. It's not so much animosity.
Mooch returns the favor as both AAC teams try to take a ticket to the district championship in opposite districts, as Austintown Fitch is in the Austintown district.
Still alive, I believe, too. Canfield's in that ring too. They're still alive as well.
Canfield's down in Division 2.
Yeah,
they'll play tomorrow. But Louisville and Fitch playing tonight. That's a all YSN matchup, 3:30.
I was talking more AAC schools, but that's what I was referencing with Canfield. But yeah,
Ty's gonna book it to Fitch after this game because he's got to be there for a 3:30 first pitch. Are you gonna stick around for the second game of the district semifinals to scout the other two teams?
I'll probably watch a little bit of it too. Obviously, it's not going to be on YSN, but
Perry versus Green.
Yeah, I'll obviously watch a little bit of it too. I'll probably watch a little bit of it. Depends on what the weather is kind of looking like. Obviously,
Massillon Perry reigning state champions, and they're in that Austintown district. That could be wild if they get there. Whoever gets out of that Fitch Louisville game is going to have a lot in their hands.
You can't sleep on this Louisville team. If I'm not mistaken, Ant, this is the same Louisville team that beat North Canton Hoover this season. Like, this is a Louisville team that can't beat some of the best.
I'll tell you, Sydney Watts, she's got to be on her A game because she brings the velocity. And what does velocity do for you if you're a power team? If you're not hitting your spots, velocity can get out of the yard really quick if you square it up. So you got to hit your spots when you're bringing the heat against this Louisville team because they can mash. Maddie Benson, 12 home runs in the season, Louisville record, and she's just a sophomore. Kenzie Denzer, mash. Top of the lineup. Jenna Collins, mash. I mean, it's just tanks. I'm gonna use tanks.
That's my favorite word. Is I mean, since those Wyndham guys brought out tanks, it's all explosive things. Like that's only in bomber country you're gonna get it called a tank.
Hopefully they wear tank tops under their jerseys because tanks are for tanks.
The coincidence or the irony, I should say, and the fact that you're named the Bombers and you don't call a home run a bomb, you call it a tank. It's a tank. That's incredible. I love it. I love the irony in that.
They don't want to be redundant, right? So
we don't want to say Bombers bomb, Bombers tank.
Tank. In the good way too. We're not tanking for two over here. We're tanking for two. No, it's great. By the way, that Louisville roster full of talent, full of great hitters in the lineup. But Katie Heath, this is what I talked about. This matchup is going to be really interesting because, one pitcher that kind of feeds into the other team's strength as far as Sydney Watts' velocity kind of helps power hitters if they can catch up to it and if they can square it up. That's a big if. But velocity brings power. The other side of things is Fitch's lineup loves to use its speed, right? They love to get the ball in play and use their speed to get on the base pass. Katie Heath is a phenomenal pitcher, but not a strikeout pitcher. You look at her numbers, she likes to pitch to contact, trust the left side of that infield, especially the left side with Kenzie Denzer and Maddie Benson in the left side of that infield. So it's going to be really interesting to see, how Louisville kind of manages this Fitch defense that likes to put the ball in play anyway. I have never been a supporter of go away from your strength to feed the other team's strength. I mean, if I'm Louisville's coaching staff, I'm saying we have been pitch to contact all season. We're going to trust our defense to make plays. I don't try that extra mile to go for the strikeout. But it's going to be very interesting to see which one of those strengths kind of shows itself.
The biggest thing you're going to want to look at too, especially with contact pitchers, and I think what I've seen a lot of since I've seen a lot of teams go through Austintown, adjusting to that turf, and especially adjusting to that turf if it's freshly rained on too, because the ball just bounces a little bit different. It bounces a little bit, it bounces a little bit more too. So I mean, it's just being able to read those bounces and adjust to it, because it's not going to bounce the same way as it does from grass and dirt.
You can attest to this because you've seen a lot of games there. I think more so in the outfield, you have to get used to it because it's not going to take that nice one hop you're used to.
Yeah, it'll sky over you.
I've seen a lot of really good infielders go and they're going to just take a nice little bounce, and it goes right over their head to the wall, and then Fitch is scoring 3 runs on the inside the park home run because you misplayed the ball on the turf. And there's no way to practice for that. Louisville can't, because I believe their baseball field is turf, so they could have gone and taken ground balls.
And
but not all turf is the same. So, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. That's usually the biggest adjustment that we're going to see. But if there's any team that's going to be prepared for it, it's Louisville. They schedule independently for a reason, and like I said, they have a win 8-5 against North Canton Hoover under their belt this season. So
and
they
matched against Howland.
Yeah,
so
they could beat good softball teams.
It'll be interesting. Hoover's not in this district this year like they were last year. So there's going to be a new Austintown district champion no matter what. Hoover's in another district. They're going to be dangerous like they always. Every Federal League team is going to be a beast. That's why I'm excited for the Green Perry game. In fact, since my game got postponed, we're going to see on the commercial break. I forgot this because we went into my game got postponed. I might just hop over to Fitch and watch those games.
It's going to be worth it, I think, too. And I mean, Green Perry is going to be a great one as well. I'm excited to see, because either way, we're going to have a YSN team in the district championship, and they're going to have a good competitive softball team in either Green or Perry that comes out of the other side of the district.
We are trying to stay updated on the status of other games in the area. Quinn is all over it. He's going to work on our schedule as these games get pushed back. I want to take the time to recognize Quinn because he's going to be putting in double time this week as tournament games get locked into the next day. And all of a sudden, now Tuesday's going to have a bunch of tournament games. He's going to be, working the pieces, putting the puzzle together and making sure that as many district and sectional games get covered as possible when the schedule kind of flips on us.
Yeah, and I mean, stay tuned to any kind of scheduling changes, programming changes, or anything like that, because sometimes you see shows such as like the Power Hour will get postponed because DJ will be out doing a game too. So stay tuned to that. Stay tuned to socials, and also go to YSN live or ysnlive.com/live to see the games that are on the network for that night too. And that list is constantly being updated as well.
We've already told you that the games at Scene Park tonight have been postponed. That was going to be West Geauga at Struthers and Campbell at Mooney. Some other baseball games that have been postponed already. Niles at Hubbard is going to be postponed. East and Howland has been postponed as well. So has Liberty at Springfield. So those sectional games are not happening. Right now, still with the green light, Cheney is going to be at Poland. Southeast at Garfield. Crestwood at LeBray. Newton Falls at Waterloo, Pymachuning Valley at East Palestine, and Berkshire at United. As of now, all those games are greenlit for baseball. We go to the softball realm in districts. The only ones that have been canceled as of now have been the Jackson Milton district. The Badger district is still going on as of now, which is going to be Matthews at Badger and then Chalker versus Brookfield at 4 and 5:30. New Philadelphia versus Boardman going to be at Massillon Washington High School at 5 o'clock. That game's still greenlit as of now. And then Louisville will be at Austintown Fitch at 3:30.
Yep. Early start time for Louisville and Fitch for that one, but it should be a good one too. And like we said, we're at least guaranteed one YSN team in a district final, so we're excited for that.
Yep, absolutely. And then we look at the games that are happening, Ty. We'll start with the district games from softball. We've talked about Fitch, Louisville. New Philadelphia, with what they bring to the table, is a pitcher whose name escapes me, and I'm killing myself for it. But he is definitely committed to Ohio State. So they're going to play a Division I Power 5 caliber pitcher in the circle. But I'm looking at their offense of numbers, and it's like, not anything that blows off the map. I think this is going to be a straight up pitcher's duel between Torrey Strein and the pitching staff of, hey, look, Steve.
He's a soft dictionary, man.
Thank you.
Got all of it.
Thank you, Steve. Absolutely committed to Ohio State. And it's going to be a pitcher's duel between Miller and Strines.
It's gonna be a fun one to watch too, because I mean, like we said, Boardman has a couple of guns in the holster too, as far as what they can throw in the circle. So that's always nice for the Spartans. That's gonna be fun. But I tell you what, Ant, you mentioned a D4 team that's down in that in the Badger district. I'm excited to see what Brookfield can do, because Brookfield has proven that they can beat some really tough competition in the area. And for a D4 team, they might be a team that can challenge a Matthews in D4, honestly.
I think it's going to be Matthews Brookfield again in the Division 4 district championship. I think it's going to be a rematch. And I'm not just saying it because it's a Ysn school. I really think that both those teams are poised for another district championship game. And I don't think Matthews is always going to be a great program. They don't have what they had last year, per se. So it might be a little bit closer. Brookfield might have an opportunity in that district championship game.
They got, I mean, Matthews has some tough pitching, though, and they play up competition.
They're still great. Like, Matthews is great. I'm not taking anything away. But I think there's a door open for Brookfield to sneak in there.
No doubt. No doubt. And, I mean, Brookfield has shown that they can beat some really good quality softball teams. And, I mean, they play in a pretty tough conference in that gray side of the MVAC that's usually pretty dominated by a champion. But they proved that they could compete with even the Flashes this season too. So, I mean, credit Brookfield. This is a team you got to watch out for in D4, I think.
They'll have to get through Chalker first, of course, as they play Chalker tonight in the district semifinal. That is game 2 of the doubleheader. Matthews versus Badger will be game 1 at 4 o'clock. How about this Badger softball team being able to host their own tournament? We've talked about Hubbard being able to win and get into their hosting tournament. Badger, another team that got the win in the sectionals, and they earned that right to call that district tournament home, a home field advantage.
And if I'm not mistaken, they are the ones that are playing Matthews right now. So you take any advantage you can get, and right now you got home field, regardless of what anyone says. I mean, you're playing on your home field. You're going to have a lot more extra of your fans, I think, feeding into this ballpark. So, hey, you know what? At this point, use whatever advantage you can. Let's go, Badger. Let's try to pull off the upset. I'd love to see Badger Brookfield for a district final.
Badger. We look at some baseball games that are happening today that are going to be really interesting. I'm looking at Southeast and Garfield as a Portage County kind of matchup that could be very interesting.
I think so as well. I mean, for Portage County teams too, there's no doubt that they've been able to showcase in the glimpses we've been able to get with them, thanks in part to Waterloo baseball and, of course, Garfield baseball playing a lot of Portage County teams. We've been able to see a lot of what this county has to offer, and we've seen stiff competition, and we just saw it again with Rootstown in the softball realm going up against Champion. I mean, these teams out here in Portage County, they know how to play ball.
Ty, yesterday the AAC released their postseason awards for their first and second team. I want to go over the selections for both baseball, softball, and track. We'll start with baseball as I pull it up now on the AAC site. And a lot of YSN guys on this list, of course, because we have 4 of the 5 AAC teams. And as soon as this circle of death
circle of death
kind of gets
I thought the softball and the baseball, both did get released. You're correct, Anthony. And I mean, a lot of awards.
Let's go through the first team, all AAC baseball recognizees. People have recognized. Landon Vital Chiefs from Canfield, AJ Havrilla from Canfield. From Boardman, we have Griffin Wilding. From Howland, Anthony Masucci. Brandon Popio from Austintown Fitch. Another Canfield guy, and Ben Slanker. Stephen Canty from Boardman. Michael Patelis from Canfield. We have Nate Shaw from Canfield. Canfield, it gets kind of redundant. Gavin Hyde from Boardman and Jake Coral from Austintown Fitch. The player of the year is Landon Vital Cheese from Canfield.
And that's a fair pick too. And I mean, if I'm gonna give a vote for that one too, and I mean, hey, spoilers, he might be in line for Baseball Player of the Year for YSN as well too. I mean, just you look at the kind of season he's had.
Yeah, and the Player of the Year doesn't come from the season champion, which sometimes it works out that way.
I mean, sometimes not.
Hey,
sometimes having the best player doesn't mean it.
The sum of the whole is better than the sum of its parts sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, sometimes you can't calculate what happens with baseball. And I mean, baseball just is a weird sport from day to day. So, I mean, you can't
know that. Let's go
hard
to
calculate.
second team All AAC as we have Anthony Butto from Boardman, Carson Fuller from Austintown Fitch, Mikey Scortino from Austintown Fitch. From Howland, we have Ryan Hooper, Marco Masucci from Howland. Warren Harding got David Devlin. Canfield, Josh Giuliano. From Boardman, Sestervella. From Canfield, Ethan Prout. From Fitch, Joe Roth. And from Boardman, Guy Young.
Awesome. I mean, just to see our guys and a lot of YSN teams getting recognition too, but these are all great players too, and we're seeing a lot of them too. Not all of them seniors either. So there's some that are going to be returning, and that's going to be the exciting part, I think.
I love how you said our guys right after Guy.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's one of our guys. Do you want me to go through the softball ones?
Yeah, you go through the softball ones.
Okay. Going through the first team All AAC softball, you got for the infield, Ayla Ray from Fitch, Brooke Tater from Howland, Maddie Taylor from Fitch, and Maddie Lester from Boardman. In the outfield, Bella Kennedy from Canfield, Samantha A. from Austintown, Zoe King from Howland. Catcher is Bridget Kelly from Canfield. DH utility is Jenna Alexa from Boardman. And the two pitchers are Sydney Watts and Milena Toth. Watts from Fitch, Toth from Canfield. Player of the year is Sydney Watts from Fitch.
Shocker.
Yeah. And I mean, looking at this, and I'm only looking at 5 seniors on this list. So, I mean, Brooke Tater, freshman. Ayla Ray, sophomore. Bella Kennedy, a junior. Sophomore from Elena Toth. Freshman for Watts. Like Zoe King, a junior. Like players that are coming back next year that have already made a name for themselves this season. Going into second team too. Did you want to say something on the first team?
I was just going to say, here's a shocker. The AAC is going to be really good for a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a strong conference. Real quickly through second team, the infield first, Alyssa Masucci from Howland, Cassidy Bryan from Boardman, Madison Angelo from Canfield, and Ryan Gump from Warren Harding. In the outfield, Bayan Jadala from Canfield, Bella Tofo from Fitch, Jennifer Sindeldecker from Howland, and then catcher is Kayla Campbell from Howland. DH utility, Madison Weimer from Boardman, and then the two pitchers are Alexia Spangler from Howland and Torrey Strein from Boardman.
You know, it's funny that they put Bayan Jadala from the outfield when the games that I've been to, and I've only been to a couple, but the games I've been to, she's been playing first base. So
hey, I mean, they just wanted to get her on this list somehow, right? They needed to get her on here.
Well, Bayan's got to be on there somewhere, Ty, and perfect timing because we are going to have a featured interview with Bayan Jadala that we're going to play here. After we talk about this list and we do our final thoughts on it. But I wanted to preview that, and we are going to have it. It was conducted right after Friday's show, so we're going to play it on today's show, and it was a great interview.
Well, looking at this too, and again, let's go through just the returners. Alyssa Masucci, a sophomore. Bella Tofo, a sophomore. Kayla Campbell, a junior. Maddie Weimer, a sophomore. Alexia Spangler, a junior. And, of course, Torrey Strein's a freshman. So, still a lot of talent that's going to be here that have made a first or second team in the conference already.
How many seniors total are on that list, first and second team? Tell me real quick.
First and second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seniors. 5 and 5 on first and second.
And how many total players?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22. So
less than half of that whole team is underclassmen.
12 of the 22 of the first and second team players are returning in the conference next season. That's
a lot of them are freshmen and sophomores too.
Yeah. So, and I mean, looking at that, yeah, player of the year is coming back. Your pitchers too.
And there are some players on some of those teams that just don't go in the list because you can only put so many players from the same team, right? So there are some fifth players that are still really, really good that aren't on that list because you can only put so many fifth players on the list.
Want to know about the pitching? You got Milena Totha was a first team. She's a sophomore. Sydney Watts is a freshman for Fitch, and Torrey Strein, second team. She's a freshman for Boardman. They're going to be around for at least 2 more seasons. All for them.
They put Brooke Taylor on first team as an infielder, but really, she's a pitcher. Let's be honest.
She is, dude.
She's on there as a pitcher. So
freshman, and the talent around this conference is insane. I'm excited to see what these girls can do too, because they've already hit some pretty high milestones at first and second team as freshmen, sophomores, and juniors for some of them. Let's see what they can continue to do.
Well, one of the ones that is going to be a senior and is going to have her final ride and is still alive in the tournament is Bayan Jadala. We had the chance to talk with her Friday after the show, and we want to play this interview and promote it now. You can find it in its entirety on ysnlive.com as well, but we want to feature it on Running Point today. So here is our interview with Bayan Jadala from Canfield. Anthony Herwig, Ty Bartell here with the Canfield softball player profile. We are joined by Bayan Jadala from the Cardinals softball program. Bayan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks for having me. Excited.
Well, first question I want to really have for you, with being a multi-sport athlete for Canfield, you got really ingrained in Canfield culture too. What has this senior season experience been like from you from start to finish, being a participant in multiple sports?
It's been great. I've really enjoyed it. It's fun to be the leader on the teams and guide the younger girls. And overall, it's just been great. All the support from our community too is awesome.
When you look at it, I mean, you can match at the plate. What kind of things have been really clicking for you this year when you look at your approach and your time in the batter's box?
This season I've just been really just trying to have fun, not think too much about it, and just stay loose when I'm up to bat and just not think too much about it. I know I've put in the work during the off season, so I just try and show up during the games.
You guys rode a little bit of a roller coaster towards the beginning of the season before you started climbing that mountain and getting to your peak too. Do you attribute any of the experiences you had with the success in soccer to being able to turn this softball team around?
Yeah, for sure. On the soccer team, we won a lot during our season last year. So I know what it takes to have a winning team and to make sure that our team gels together and works together to win those games. So I tried my best to bring that to our softball team and to carry that on and keep the girls motivated, even though we started off a little rocky, just to keep pushing through and keep helping and supporting each other.
What were some personal goals you set for yourself coming into this season?
Some of my personal goals were just, again, to have fun. Last year was a bit of a rocky mental season for me, so I just wanted to keep my head up during the entire season, obviously get those goals of like batting average and just limiting my errors on the field. But mainly I was just trying to have fun and not think too much about it.
Who's like one of your go-to teammates that you could always kind of confide in, or will pick you up when you're down?
I talked a lot to Jackie Kennick. Me and her like to help each other on and off the field. She knows what I go through and I know what she's going through. So it's just great to have her there and just chat about whatever that each other needs.
Talk about this coaching staff and what it's been like to be under them and how they've helped you grow, not just as a player, but as a person too.
Yeah, our coaching staff is great. Our coach, Angelo, she's extremely supportive. She's there for whatever you need. She's a great coach. And our coach, Joe, he's very educated softball-wise. He knows the game in and out, and he knows everything that's going on, and he's very helpful in that aspect. And our first base coach, Coach Gumont, he brings fun to the team. He's really nice. He keeps us light on our feet. He supports us. It's great.
Being one of these seniors on this team, you would understand a little bit more than the underclassmen of what it means to represent Canfield and what it means to represent the colors and wear the Cardinals name across your chest. What does it mean to you personally to represent Canfield as a school and Canfield as a community?
Canfield as a school and a community is really it's amazing because our sports community is awesome. We strive in our sports. We strive to do our best. Campfield's known for being a great sports school, and I just try and keep that going. And I try to like help the underclassmen and like keeping sports alive at Campfield.
Who are some underclassmen that you feel like you've mentored a lot and you're going to take pride in their success as they continue their journey?
There's a sophomore or a junior, Haley Freedy. Me and her have been together so much these past few years because we are on the same travel team as well. And me and her just have gotten so close, and I try to be a mentor to her and just help her in whatever way she needs, because she's like almost like a little sister to me now.
What's one of the most impactful things someone has told to you along the way with your softball journey?
Honestly, my travel coach, he's been so supportive, and his confidence in me really boosted my confidence on the field and off the field. And like one of his big sayings is "I will," and I've carried that with me throughout these past few years of softball. Just I will put in 110% effort on and off the field. I will do my best and everything that I can do, and it's been great.
You've been able to take quite a few slow jogs around the base paths in your career. From your perspective, take us through the feeling of hitting a home run and what it's like to be able to slow down a little bit and then see your teammates culminate at a home plate to celebrate with you when you touch home.
It's a great feeling, to be honest. Just feeling the ball off the bat is great. I recently hit one at our senior night after having kind of a rough weekend the week before. So feeling that ball go off the bat and just kind of having a sigh of relief running around the bases and just being able to breathe and have fun on my senior night was really great. And of course, the little hits on the head when you get to home plate is a great feeling.
What's the go-to snack or sports drink in the dugout?
Oh God, I love seeds, and I also like Gatorade. Those are my top two.
So if you could have your own mix in the seeds and the Gatorade, what would your mix be? Would it be a flavor that already exists, or would you make a new one?
I'm a huge fan of like the sweet and spicy seeds, and then I also love a good either like blue Gatorade or purple, somewhere like that.
If they were gonna, this is something that Ty asked earlier. If they were gonna put your face on a flavor of Gatorade, what flavor do you think it would be?
Oh God, I don't even know the names of the Gatorades. I just look at the colors, to be honest. So like I said, probably something blue or something purple. Those are my go-to.
They just renamed the flavor the Jadala, and then there
Yeah.
you go.
Bayon blue, Bayon blue, Bayon blue. That's it right there.
Perfect. I gotta make it now.
Continuing that though too, and just talking about the relationships that you're able to build in that dugout too. What's some of your favorite chants that you have for your teammates to get them amped up, or is there any special chants you have for certain teammates that get them amped up?
Mainly I just cheer whatever comes to my mind just to get them so that they feel supported in the box up there. But sometimes I like to call them by different names just to get them laughing in the box and just keep them loose and ready to go.
You know, the one thing that we've learned interviewing so many softball players over the years is how close-knit the softball community is with travel ball, and you know, you're playing right next to each other. You know everyone from every other school. What's it like to be part of this big softball family where you're playing against travel teammates, or you see travel teammates while you're on the road? What kind of experience has it been like for you?
It's honestly so fun seeing faces literally against every team you play. Like I've been playing against the same girl since I was around 9 years old, and even if if we've never been on the same team, even if we've just played against each other, you kind of just randomly become friends from just doing that. So it's great, and you also feel like it's just like tons and tons of friends that you have.
Who's your best softball friend that doesn't wear a Canfield uniform?
My best softball friend is probably Jillian Reeser from Hubbard. Me and her are on the same travel team, and we like last year when we played against each other for like Canfield Hubbard games, it was just so fun to play her, and like we kind of got like a little secret language going back and forth on like the field, and it's just fun to play against her.
What's a bit of advice you would offer to some younger girls or some smaller girls that want to look up to you guys and want to play in the softball ranks at the varsity level at high school one day?
Honestly, the big thing is to have fun, but also you do have to put that put the work in on and off the field, especially off the field. You just got to keep grinding and keep pushing hard. But like also at the same time, you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself and just have fun, because if it's meant to be, then great things will happen.
How does it make you feel that since you're a statistical leader on the team, you're going to be looked at by all these young girls that are looking at Canfield softball? They want to be on this varsity level one day, and you're one of the girls that they pictures to say, I want to be like Bayan Jadala, and you're kind of like a role model. What does that kind of feel like for you?
It's a great feeling, to be honest. Like I looked up to so many players when I was younger. Even when I was a freshman, like the seniors, like my goals were to be like some of them. So now like having that for me being the leader is just a great feeling, and I hope I'm setting a good example for them.
Give a shout out to some Canfield players from the past that you looked up to.
One of the players I looked up to a lot was Brooke Chrisman. She was a senior when I was a freshman. She was a great all-around player. She was positive on and off the field. She was a great leader to all the freshmen, and she included everyone and everything that she did. And overall, she was like a great student athlete, and she was just a great person.
What's one of your favorite games of softball that you've been a part of or participated in, I guess?
One of my favorite games is, I believe we were 11. It was like an 11-12 state semifinals, and for like Little League, and we were playing Wheelersburg, and I hit a walk-off in the semifinals to take us to the state championship, and that's a game I'll always remember.
So many people focus on the athlete part of a student athlete, but you're also a great student. What are some of your favorite subjects, favorite things to study in school, and who are some teachers in the Canfield school system that have really impacted your journey?
Yeah, I'd say my favorite subject is probably math. I mean, it's just kind of what I'm good at, so I don't mind it too much. But some teachers that have really helped me through my journey is obviously my Coach Angelo. She was one of my science teachers in high school, and she was very helpful, and she taught me a lot. And then in middle school, my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Webb, is someone I've kept in touch with since I was in middle school, and she's been a great supporter of everything that I do, and she taught me a lot when I was in her classes.
Before Anthony gets to his rapid fire questions with you, I got to ask, what are some of the future goals in Bayan Jadala's career in mind?
My future goals are just honestly now just get through college, keep my grades up, keep doing what I was doing in high school, and just ultimately make a better future for myself.
Do we have a decision made on the college we're going to be going to?
Yes, I decided a few weeks ago that I will be going to Ohio State.
And you will be studying what is it at Ohio State?
Architecture.
So architecture at Ohio State, big one there. And I know there's a lot of people that love that program down there. What kind of made you decide Ohio State, and what made you settle on architecture for the major?
Honestly, Ohio State was one of my last options going in, like when I was applying to schools. But as I started not liking all the other schools, and I visited Ohio State like only a few weeks before I made my decision, I just loved the campus, and I was like meeting some of the students there, and it was overall a great environment. And of course, I'm a big sports person, so I'm excited for the games. I also chose architecture because I have a bit of a creative side to me, and like I said, I kind of like math and like the sciences and STEM stuff, so that was kind of a good combination of the two of them.
As Ty said before, we're going to get a rapid fire questions to get to know you a little bit off the field before we let you go. And I think I'll start with, what's the go-to hangout spot for Canfield softball?
Oh, the go-to hangout spot is the Chick-fil-A parking lot, either in Austintown or Boardman.
The parking lot. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you wet your toothbrush before or after you put toothpaste on?
Before.
What is the first thing you do when you wake up?
First thing I do is actually brush my teeth.
There you go.
Yep.
Perfect segue. Who is the one teammate that can make you smile no matter what the circumstance?
I actually have two. They're Carly and Kara, and together they just make me laugh so much.
All right, cats or dogs?
Cats.
Do you have a cat? And if you do, what's the weirdest thing that it does?
I do not have a cat. No animals in this house.
Then do you have a cat that you see often? Can we still answer this question? Like the weirdest thing that a cat that's close to you does?
My cousins have a cat, and I kind of see it a little often, but it's honestly crazy to me how it just jumps from wherever and it could reach incredible heights. That amazes me.
If you could have any animal as a pet, what would you want?
Oh God, I think a bunny. I don't know. That was my nickname growing up, so I don't know. I feel like I just probably have a little bit of a connection to them.
Is it still your nickname?
My dad does still call me that, so I guess so.
What about nicknames on the team? Does your team have any nicknames for you?
It's just Bay, just to shorten my name. Yeah.
What is one thing that you learned about yourself this season?
I learned that I am a decent softball player because, like I said, last year I was doubting myself, and this year I was able to prove to myself that I am capable of being in the top spots in the lineup and starting on that field.
What is your favorite season of the year?
Spring.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Night in or night out?
Oh God, it really just depends on the day, but usually it's a night out.
If we were going to take you to a karaoke night, what's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh God. Oh God, I can't think of one. I'm blanking on every song.
What about your walk-up song?
Oh, my walk-up song is Glamorous by Fergie. So honestly, maybe that.
Talk about your playlist a little bit more too. Like what kind of music do you like to listen to?
It really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm like studying or something, it's always like, I guess, like calm pop music, I guess. Or if I'm at softball or working out, it's a lot of rap.
Do you have any songs that are on your playlist that you are kind of embarrassed that they're on your playlist?
God, there definitely is. Sometimes I listen to like songs from like Disney movies. Mm-hmm. That's, I guess, a little embarrassing, but they're just good oldies that bring me back to my childhood.
What's your guilty pleasure dessert?
Ice cream.
What flavor ice cream?
Chocoholic chunk from Handles.
Okay, and then I think this is going to answer my next question, but who makes the best ice cream?
Handles.
All right. You can't be from Canfield without saying that.
Exactly.
What mythical creature do you wish existed?
Probably unicorns.
Would you rather go forward in time or back in time?
Forward.
And how far forward would you want to go? If we gave you a time machine, where do you think you would go into the future?
Honestly, I would just jump to, like, I'm a little nervous about going to college and stuff, so I'd probably just jump ahead to that just to get it over with.
And last but not least, I will ask, what is your dream vacation?
My dream vacation, I think, is Italy. I've been wanting to go there for a while now, and it's, I don't know, nice weather compared to here.
a lot of good architecture in Italy. Maybe one day we'll see a Bayan Jadala original in Italy pop up.
Hopefully.
Before we let you go, we do want to give you the chance to thank your support system, the people that are there for you, and the people that you wouldn't be where you are in your journey without.
Yeah. First off, I'd like to start by thanking my parents. They literally have done everything for me, taking me to games, supporting me. They've been amazing. My brothers keep me on my toes. We always have competitions going on. Who's the better athlete? So thank you for them for that. My teammates, great supporters as well. We have a great time on and off the field. I couldn't ask for better teammates for both travel and for school. My travel coaches, I like to thank a lot. They've really shaped me into the players that I am today. And even the coaches I had when I was young, I couldn't have done it without them.
All right, Bayan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We love covering you. We're going to cover you the rest of your tournament season. We hope that it goes as long as it can, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you.
Bayan Jadala from Canfield Softball was able to join us, and we are back on Running Point. Anthony Arwig, Ty Bartel, and that was a great conversation. I feel like this is the AAC day. talking to Boardman. We talked a lot about Austintown Fitch and their postseason accolades, and now we get a chance to hear from one of the Canfield Cardinals seniors in Bay Angedala, who is going to the Ohio State University.
We've also had both Coach Ward and Coach Moots active in the comments section today, too, so it's been a lot of AAC love today. But, hey, still a great day for softball, and, I mean, as of right now, and I'm pretty sure we're greenlit on still a few games on the network.
We still have the district semifinals from Badger in Division IV, and that is Matthews and Badger at 4 o'clock, and then at 5:30 we will have Chalker against Brookfield, and then we have the Division I semifinals against in Austintown with Fitch against Louisville.
Should all be good matchups, too, and don't forget $9.99 to get you access to all games that are happening tournament-wise on the network tonight. So make sure you stop on ysnlive.com/live so you can see the complete list of games that are slated to be on the network.
Some other postponements from today that we have gotten since the last time we were live with you. West Branch baseball has been postponed today, and so has Columbiana baseball against Latonia. So those two games are postponed as well. Once again, the Division IV district in Jackson Milton has been postponed as far as softball goes. And the baseball games that are postponed for tonight are Niles at Hubbard, West Geauga at Struthers, which is at Scene Park. All the games at Scene Park have been postponed. East at Howland has been postponed. And then Liberty at Springfield has been postponed as well.
So, of course, stay tuned to YSN Lives on the socials to get complete updates on other postponements as they develop around the area.
We talked about the players that won all AAC, but Division I has also released their all-state on all-district attributes. We didn't get because we don't have a ton of teams in Division I, but I do want to go over the players that have been recognized. Sydney Watts is first-team all-state as well as first-team all-district. No shocker there with the season that she's put up. Also, AAC Player of the Year and First Team All AAC for Sydney Watts. Also from Austintown Fitch, Ayla Ray gets honorable mention in All State, First Team All District, and First Team All Conference. Maddie Taylor gets First Team All Conference, Second Team All District. We have McKenna Hogan, who got honorable mention All District for Fitch. Also in the district for Division I, Maddie Benson, Second Team All District from Louisville.
Obviously, we wish the best of congratulations to all these players on their hard work and their fantastic seasons being recognized on a greater level.
The entire honorable mention list has not been put out yet. I only know Fitch's because Steve Ward sent it to me. But as soon as we get the honorable mention list for district and state, we will release the players that were recognized at that tier as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But until then, stay tuned to our socials for all those updates.
Yeah. Social media is strong, and so is our website, ysnlive.com. Head over there. We have a bunch of player profiles that went up this weekend. Where else can you find them, Ty? Tell the people where you can find those player profiles.
You can find them on ysnlive.com, too, as they all get posted to the site there. And you can find them on the YouTube page, YSN Live. As well.
While they're there, they should.
You should subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Bing.
Content's almost constantly being posted on there too. I mean,
tied to the water.
yeah, weekly posting definitely over there. We could definitely say that weekly videos go up on that.
Almost daily. I don't think.
Yeah, almost daily. I didn't want to make the jump because I don't know if it's exactly daily, but I almost at least semi-daily.
I don't think there are too many days where something doesn't get posted on our YouTube. It would have to be like a day where there's no games at all because we go post-game interviews on YouTube, and then also one of those rare days where we don't have an interview on the show.
Yeah.
Almost never happens. Both those at once.
So much content, though, that can be found on the YSN YouTube page and ysnlive.com.
We want to go over what we're going to have on tomorrow's show. We are going to feature an interview with Ursuline's Paige Ogden, as we had a chance to talk with her yesterday. And
5
then
home runs in what, a 2-day stretch that she had a little bit earlier this season?
no big deal at all. We also have a live interview scheduled with Louisville baseball. Connor Adelman will be joining us at 12:15 from Louisville baseball tomorrow as well. So we'll have a couple of interviews with that. We'll have recaps of the games that do get on tonight, and it will have a lot of previews from games that are going to either be scheduled tomorrow or pushed back from today into tomorrow as well.
And don't forget, you never know who could show up on Running Point.
You never know. Actually, you'll have a really good idea if you follow us on Twitter at Running Point.
Honestly.
That gets promoted unless someone comes in the midnight hour and says they're going to come on at
It does happen sometimes, but most of we'll get stuff happening between that 8 to 11 hour where people will surprisingly come on that day too. So we get a lot of confirmations that day too.
So follow us on Twitter at Running Point YSN. We always have this show promoted on there, so you know who we're having on. And you'll also get some fun retweets, and every now and then I get kind of creative with that Twitter account. So
yeah,
follow us for some fun. Ty doesn't have a Twitter, so you can't follow Ty, but I'm trying to get him on.
You're probably gonna have to break me on it. You're gonna end up breaking me anyway. So.
I need people in the comment section to egg Ty on to get him on Twitter. Egg him on at the real Ty Bartel.
I need you to get Elon to message me personally. I mean, like, get on here. I get a message from Elon. We're going to now the YouTube ones is what's gonna happen.
I'd buy you one of those cameos videos from Elon Musk.
That's where he's asking me to join Twitter.
At the real Ty Bartel.
That's awesome.
That way it takes away any fakes that want to spell your name with 3 L's or
2 Y's, just TYY.
Because people be weird out there.
Yeah, you said it. Oh man. Till Tuesday's edition of Running Point, we have a live one scheduled. We have Paige Ogden too, pre-recorded, that's going to be aired too. So it should be a lot of fun. Plus, you never know who's going to show up on Running Point.
Yep, that'll be tomorrow. We're taking a 22-hour break. We got games on the network tonight still right now. As of right now, we'll definitely have the game from Fitch because those never get canceled. So they'll be good. No, the Fitch will be fine. 999 gets you the tournament games. If there are regular season games, they're free. Head over to ysnlive.com/live to see all the games that are happening. Casual Sports Podcast coming up next, and then Power Hour from 3 to 4, and all of that will be followed by games on the network. And we'll see you tomorrow from 12 to 2.